Hello, hello. Welcome once again to another edition of Quoth the Raven, Lewis Brett Raven. I'm your host, Lewis Brett Raven, and joining me, as usual on Fridays, is the Bardinator.
Hello. How you doing?
And this is Chris's week. He made the choice. He demanded no more documentaries for a little while. he was burned out on them, and so he wanted to go back to his choice. He picked horror. He picked sci-fi. He said, "This is something that you're going to love, Raven." We'll see. He picked The Color of Space, or Color Out of Space, I should say. I keep doing that, saying The Color of Space. Hopefully I won't do that for the rest of the whole film. 2019, directed by Richard Stanley, written by Richard Stanley and Scarlett Amaris, based on The Color Out of Space by H.P. Lovecraft, produced by Daniel Noah, Josh Seawaller, Elijah Wood, yes, that Elijah Wood, and Lisa Whalen, starring Nicolas Cage, Jolie Richardson, Elliot Knight, Malin Arthur, Korianka Kilcher, and
That's
Tommy
pretty
Chong.
good. That's pretty good.
Production company Spectravision. Distributed by RLJE Films, released, I don't know what TIFF stands for, but I guess it's like the International Film Festival or something like that.
Okay.
September 7th, 2019, and in the U.S. in January 24th, 2020, with a running time of 1 hour and 51 excruciating minutes. Oh, my goodness. Had a $10 to $12 million budget. It got a box office of $1 million. You kind of wonder why. Genre is SF, existential horror. Chris, you can read what it's about.
All right. In the wake of his wife Teresa's mastectomy, Nathan Gardner moves his family, including children Lavinia, Benny, and Jack, to his late father's farm. One night, a brilliantly colored meteorite crash lands in their front yard near the well. The next morning, hydrologist Ward Phillips, who is surveying the area for a dam development, along with the mayor and the sheriff of the nearby town of Arkham, arrive to see the meteor. Nathan and Lavinia later witness strange phenomena around the meteor until it suddenly disappears. Ward notices that the groundwater has taken on an oily sheen and tests it. When his test strips begin to glow brightly with the color of the meteor, he advises the gardeners not to drink it. The family quickly becomes contaminated. Jack becomes fixated on the property's well, observing strange plant growths and insects, as well as claiming to communicate with a friend inside the well. When Teresa is preparing dinner, she vacantly cuts off 2 fingers. Disturbing. Nathan rushes her to the hospital, and Benny goes outside to put the farm alpacas back in their stables, but does not return until late at night, claiming time had passed instantaneously for him. Meanwhile, Lavinia repeatedly tries to contact Nathan, but they are unable to hear each other through the phone. Upon the parents' return, Nathan lashes out at Benny and Lavinia with uncharacteristic rage. Or cage. Cage rage. Further stresses include all the crops becoming desiccated, place the family in crisis. Later, Lavinia tries to perform a ritual using a copy of the Necronomicon and offering her blood to save her family, mutilating herself in the process. Teresa suddenly hears Jack and Benny screaming, or as they call him, Jack, screaming after entering the alpaca stables, and rushes to their aid as the color begins appearing outside. A bolt of the color strikes and fuses Teresa and Jack together into a hideous mass. Finding all their electronics devices dead, the family is stranded, and Nathan and the children carry Jack and Teresa into the attic to shield them from the sunlight, which harms them. Benny reveals that the alpacas were similarly mutated and fused together by the color, and Nathan euthanizes them with a shotgun. Beginning to lose his sanity, Nathan also attempts to euthanize Teresa and Jack, but is unable to bring himself to do it. Lavinia and Benny attempt to leave the farm on horseback, but the horse flees. Benny then insists he hears the family's dog inside the well, but upon climbing in, he is assimilated by the color. Nathan, now fully deranged from the color, locks Lavinia in the attic with Teresa and Jack, who have turned monstrous and attacking her. Ward and the sheriff return to the farm after a nearby resident discovers a fused mass of animals and arrive just in time to break into the attic to save Lavinia. Nathan shoots and kills the monster, no longer viewing them as his family. Ward rushes Lavinia outside as the color emerges from the well and Nathan attempts to shoot it. The sheriff mistakenly believes Nathan is aiming at Ward and shoots him instead. Lavinia insists on staying with the dying Nathan, so Ward and the sheriff leave to rescue the neighbor Ezra. At Ezra's cabin, the pair find Ezra's desiccated corpse and Ezra's voice coming from an audio recorder claiming the color is attempting to remake its environment into something familiar to it. Ward and the sheriff flee a burst of the color, but a mutated tree catches and kills the sheriff outside the cabin. Ward returns to rescue Lavinia, but finds her fully possessed by the color, which explodes out of the well and forms a funnel into the sky. Ward is shown a vision where the color hails from a psychedelic exoplanet inhabited by tentacled alien entities before Lavinia disintegrates. As space and time begin to unravel, Ward enters the farmhouse and is pursued by a murderous apparition of Nathan. He hides in the wine cellar as the color's distortion of reality destroys the property, leaving Ward the only survivor as he climbs out of the remains of the farmland, now a colorless, ashy, blasted heath. In an epilogue, an older Ward stands on top of the finished dam as a reservoir covers the farm property. He says that few people remember the incident, but having witnessed the color's effect, he will never drink the water. He concludes that the color was a messenger from the realms beyond human understanding. As he leaves, an insect, mutated by the color, flies by. This movie just once again proves that if you need your character to go batshit crazy in a movie, Nick Cage is your guy.
Well, we already knew that from other performances in other films, right?
Right. The film deals pretty well with the themes of xenophobia that are present in most Lovecraft literature pretty well. And they all did a really nice job of slowly ramping up the effects and being infected by the color and, slowly going insane, which is also another, running theme in Lovecraft's literature. So that being said, it was a pretty long film. I mean, I guess, they could have easily cut 10 minutes, 15 minutes off that thing. Had some decent jump scares and some good gore. So.
Yeah. Story was too long. Didn't need the extra neighbor scenes, period. It really didn't do anything for the film to have any of that in there. There were several other things I could have cut. I would have been able to cut at least half an hour of that movie. They could have gotten the same story across by having the gardener's animals shifting and being eliminated and having Ward and the sheriff coming to them exclusively. I was getting numb by midway through the second act, thinking, hurry up, let's get the story going.
Right.
I was thinking that the girl Lavinia was going to be the sole survivor, but that the experience would drive her insane. I thought at least one of the family should survive to tell the tale. I didn't really care for Ward being the sole survivor. But okay, whatever. I had to go look up the original story to see why that wasn't the way they decided to go. But the film doesn't do a particularly good job of adapting the original story, in my opinion. But it does tell the story in its own manner well enough to stand up as a film. But I think that's in part why the film struggled in the box office. So far as casting, well, Cage chews up everything. I mean, that's what he does.
Yeah, you've heard chewing the scenery. Yeah, that's what he does.
I felt like Jolie Richardson was just going through the motions. I didn't really feel like. I mean, there was scenes like when she was like completely oblivious when she was cutting her fingers off. That's like I felt like that was what she was. She was completely oblivious as to what she was doing there. I did not like her performance at all. The boys were just there. I didn't really feel like their performances were all that great. But I did think that Madeline Arthur was pretty much the highlight of the film, opposite Cage. Her performance and how she started to evolve throughout the show, throughout the film, was probably the best thing in the film, I think, more so than Cage, because Cage you kind of expect what the hell he did.
Yeah, you know what you're getting with him.
She did a nice job in her role. You gave it a 3.5. I thought you were going to give it a 4. I don't know why, but I just thought you would. I, being nice to it, I gave it a 3, but I could easily have given this a 2. I was just being nice because I figured you were giving it a 4, so I'd be nice and give it a 3. This is Lavinia at the end of the film where she basically is like confronting Ward, I believe.
Yes.
And it's like, don't go near the water. It's pinks, purples, and blues. You think they picked some different hues. I mean,
that's pretty good. That's pretty good, man.
I mean, the whole film, I was like, oh my god, that was another thing. I did not like the color palette for this film. I was getting a headache from it. So, yeah, it is what it is. It was not the best film we've seen. It was not the worst film we've seen.
Have you seen Pig with Nicolas Cage?
Yes.
That, in my opinion, is one of the best films he's ever done. That's an amazing film in my opinion. So,
what is my phone telling me?
Oh, that was mine that went off.
No, my phone went off too.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe Angie's telling you she can't. Maybe she's telling you as well that she can't figure out her password. Lewis, help!
Password for what?
YouTube.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, Angie, I'm just passing through. That's your password. Just passing through. Anyway, but yeah, I don't know.
I mean, there wasn't a lot of depth to the movie. It was fairly everything on the surface. It was, like I said, it was some decent gore effects. Good creature effects. Yeah.
Yeah, that was fine. It was just, I don't know. I mean, they changed all the names of the characters practically.
Right.
Original story, and I don't know. There was so much more I thought they could have done with it.
Well, historically, H.P. Lovecraft adaptations, films don't do well. For some reason, they don't do well.
Well, part of it is because Lovecraft leaves so much leans on the reader's ability to imagine. He gives you just enough description to make you want to think about what else is there, and you come up with your own thing. And so now you're having a specifically defined interpretation in the film, and that never really gives you the same effect as what the craft's actual prose work does.
I would agree with that assessment. Yes, your mind can always create something more horrible than what you can actually see on TV. So, or a movie.
So I think that's that. But yeah, I just it's nuts. Dumb question.
Sure.
How are you on the whole Kimmel thing? Have you eliminated your Disney Plus? Have you eliminated your Hulu?
Nope. And I think Kimmel was a wuss for coming back. I think there's no way he should have come back. He should have just said, you know what, fuck you Disney, fuck you ABC, and gone and done his own thing. He easily could have started his own thing on YouTube or Netflix or whatever, and been able to say whatever the hell he wanted.
Well, th- mm, well, that wasn't what I was getting at, but I don't know if he could have legally done that based on the contracts, but whatever. Well, that's neither here nor there. What I was getting at is I've heard so much of the people doing that over the last.
Cancel.
Yeah, cancel everything. We're going to just cancel all. We're going to cancel CBS because they canceled Colbert. We're going to cancel all the. And I'm just like looking at these people and going, do you idiots realize that this has nothing to. It's not going to bring these people back. And even if it did, what difference does it make? Because, yeah.
Well, apparently ABC and Disney lost like billions from, people canceling everything.
Yeah.
In boycotting. But you know what? I'm sorry. I'm not going to interrupt my entertainment for some talk show host that I don't even watch. So
you don't even watch. He's already got plenty of tens of millions of dollars that he's been paid. So who the fuck cares?
He's at home crying into his $100 bills.
Yeah. On top of that, now that he's back, they're not running it in DC. And here's all the advertisers that ran during his segment that they didn't run. We're going to cancel buying we're going to boycott all those companies. And I'm like, are you idiots? These people paid for their advertising slots. They're not going to throw away hundreds of thousands of dollars for an advertising slot just because you are an idiot.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, do people even understand how the world works?
I really don't think most people do. they don't get it.
Yeah. I'm sorry about the rant, folks. It was just, the reason I was asking was because if his brother-in-law or he canceled, it would change what we could or could not pick up for reviews in the future. That's the only reason I was asking.
Oh no. I would never do that. I like my Disney Plus way too much.
Okay. So anyway, next week, what are we watching? Well, we went to Tubi because he went to Tubi last week or for this week. So it's my pick because John's not ready to come back for Fridays yet. He's on his last week this week, and I don't even know if they're even doing the show right now. He's supposed to be doing his theater stuff right now, but the rain around here has not been good, folks. We'll talk about that in a moment. But next week, we will try the 1980s cult science fiction classic Saturn III with Farrah Fawcett.
Yes. Also known as In Space, Everyone Can See That You're Not Wearing a Bra.
Well, that's because of George Lucas, and Carrie Fisher's mad about it. But anyway.
Yes, George Lucas. They don't wear bras in space, Carrie. No, sorry.
No. You want a bra? Here, have a metal bikini. That'll hold you up.
Exactly. Yeah.
Anyway. I wish Carrie was here. That's the comment she would be making. But anyway. Yeah.
So
weather-wise, I don't know if we'll be here early next week. I don't even know what's going on next week because there is tropical bad weather coming from the Atlantic into the Georgia, Carolinas area this weekend up through Tuesday. And they're talking anywhere from 6 to 12 inches of rain in my area, and I'm over an hour and a half away from the coast.
Is it still just tropical storm? It hasn't upgraded to a hurricane yet?
Right. It hasn't been qualified as a hurricane yet. But that doesn't mean that you aren't going to have a bad situation.
Right, exactly.
It was so bad. When we went out to go take care of my errands at 4:30, it took us an hour and a half to get to where we were going because the rain just started to come down. and the clouds. I mean, the clouds looked so bad. I thought that there was going to be a tornado. It was just circling.
That's not good.
But, yeah. So I was like, yeah, I'm like, oof. And we stopped and we got what we need to do, and then we ate because we didn't know if we were going to have power at home or not. So we ate, and then from like where we were was like 15 miles away, 17 miles away from home. And I called you at like what, 6:45 to tell you I probably wouldn't get there, or set right at 7.
Right.
And I didn't get home 15 miles away. It took almost an hour to get home in the weather.
Literally going
15 miles an hour for the first half of the way. It finally cleared up about 8 miles away, and we were able to start going normal speeds, but it was bad. But
yes, these sorts of things make me thankful that I don't live in the South anymore or on the coast.
well, all you got to worry about is getting covered in snow.
Right. I'll take snow any day.
Well, I don't know about that either. What are you doing down there? The Midnight Monster is here. You want up here or what? What do you want? Oh, you saw him attack me, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, he's just being a brat. All right. Well, that's what we got for tonight, I think. And again, next week we'll do Saturn 3. Hopefully we'll be on regular schedule next week, but I can't make any promises due to the weather. So just heads up, folks. In the meantime, if you live in the Southeast, stay safe. And, I don't know what you're going to do while your lady's out for vacation.
But basically a lot of work. I still got a lot of work to do. So, but I'll take some breaks and play some video games, whatnot. Right now, I have my Midnight Monster wanting to go OUT.
Yes.
Hazel.
Yes. All right.
There's a comedian that said, if you've never owned a Staffy before, Staffordshire Bull, it's basically like having a hurricane made of bricks, or like a tornado made of bricks.
Yes. There we go. So next, okay. That being the case, we want to get him outdoors. So reach out for science for me on social media. Lewis.Brightraven on Facebook. At Lewis Brightrave 2 on the Muskrat channel X. DeviantArt.com/BrightRavens, where you can find some more of my artwork. DeviantArt.com/FatBoy73 is where you can find Chris's coloring work. We've been watching Quoth the Raven, Lewis Bright Raven exclusively at YouTube. To email me, quoththeravenlbr72@gmail.com. If I don't get back to you on that channel, try lewisbrightraven@yahoo.com. And if you want to reach out to Chris, it's ghthrowingstones@gmail.com. And speaking of Glass House Throwing Stones, do you have a show for tomorrow?
We do. It is, one second here. New guest. I have not yet had the pleasure of meeting. It is Mark Maya, writer and publisher of So-Called Life, published or drawn and published through Glass House Graphics.
Okay.
So that will be at Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Glass House YouTube channel. Glass House presents Throwing Stones. So.
Okay. There you go, folks. That's what we're doing this weekend. You guys stay safe, and we'll see you next time. Quoth the Raven. Nevermore.